I have played Monster Hunter for a long time, from getting courted by an Anteca to making unforgettable memories, like watching a French guy go against a Crimson Fatalis with negative 22 fire resistance, carting, and then abandoning the quest. Ah, good times. Then Wilds got released. The world, the monsters, the story.
To be free, to live strong.
Shut up, Nata! I finished the game in under 25 hours, hunting every monster and quest available, without knowing that finishing the game so fast would be my biggest mistake. As I hunted the same monster over and over again, just to get the items to forge the latest drip. I hit a wall. Now, what? Was I doomed to be bored of hunting the same monsters? Or was there a remedy to my illness? Was I cursed to wait for more content? Or is there a way to make the game enjoyable again? Well, actually, there are 14 weapons in the game, so there is more content to explore. Unless you are me and have an unhealthy obsession with the gunlands. As you can see, with over 150 hunts and to sprinkle a bit of dust in there, a few hunts with hunting horn. Both my favorite weapons from the franchise, by the way. But as you can see, I had not used any other weapon available in this game. That's when I had an idea. I will use every weapon. That's totally a good investment of my time. For you see, I was determined to experience everything this game had to offer, and if that included separating myself from my beloved, that was a price I was willing to pay. So follow me, Sir William, as I commit weapon adultery to discover all the weapons of Monster Hunter Wilds have to offer. Throughout the entire lifespan of this franchise, there is a weapon that has survived the test of time. That weapon is the Sword and Shield. Featuring from the very first game to now the latest, hunters of old swear to the heavens that this weapon is insanely good. Look, old doesn't mean good. And I have a small hatred for this weapon. Wait, hear me out. Don't click off the video just yet. I acknowledge that it's mostly due to having bad experiences with it. But come on, in a world where you slay monsters whose toes are bigger than you? Wait, what is the average hunter height? 175 centimeters tall, so 5'8". Damn, hunters wouldn't survive today's dating standards. Where was I again? Yes, shitting on this weapon. In a game that has big sword, big morphing booms, humongous shields, homosexuals, and blunt weapons that you have to sharpen. Why in the hell would you choose a stick and a cotton ball as your weapon? Okay, let's be fair. The last time I used Sword and Shield was back in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. That was 13 years ago. Perhaps I had a bad experience because I remember this weapon's only functionality was that you can use items without having to sheath it. And in hindsight, if your only redeeming quality is this, you suck. It's like having a hunting horn user who doesn't buff. Put that man in jail. You know who you are. The weapon hits like a wet noodle and the shield was just for decoration. Yes, it looks cool, but cool doesn't block attacks or kill monsters. With that being said, delete this weapon, throw it in the trash, F tier, don't even use it. As you can see, this weapon has imprinted negatively in my heart. I was just a little noob back then, with hopes and dreams of becoming the best hunter that ever was. Only for said dreams to be shattered the moment I equipped this weapon. I remember it as it was yesterday, against the famous Brachydius, and how it humiliated me, and since then, I bow to to never wield this abomination of a weapon ever again. Wait, what's this? People use this weapon more than my beloved gun lance? Impossible! It just couldn't be. How could it be possible that this useless stick was about my gun lance? Do others know something I don't? Could it be possible I was wrong? That I just had to learn from my past experiences in order to get good? No. It is this weapon's fault. I just have to prove it. There's only one way to do so. And what better way to prove a weapon sucks than actually using it? But only using this weapon randomly will not yield the right results or experiences. That is why I will explain how I will be testing this weapon. Take notes, because this will be the only video where I go in depth with this explanation. Monster Hunter has many numerous amounts of skills that make or break your hunts. And the ultimate goal is to make the best use of those skills provided by armors, and in this game, by weapons too. Regardless of skills, there are only 3 ways to play around your weapons when it comes to builds. Elemental damage includes fire, ice, water, thunder, and dragon. Raw damage, which is just numbers. And status inflection, paralysis, sleep, and poison. But there are 2 more statuses inflictions that we don't talk about too much: stun or KO, and exhaust. I will be trying every single one so that I can experience almost every possible scenario this weapon can provide. And because I am chaotic, I'll be using a randomized roulette to select my first hunt with this weapon. Now, with stick in hand, I roll the first hunt of the video. The roll that would signify the beginning. For fuck's sake, god damn it. Okay, calm down. It can't be that bad. Sure, I'm using a weapon I have no experience with, but how hard can it be? I mean, I've been hunting these monsters ever since its first appearance. Plus, I will be hunting the regular version instead of the tempered one, so I'm sure I will have a good time. I had a terrible time. I have over 5,000 hours in this franchise, but even with that amount of experience, somehow I forgot the most vital thing about this game that you have to always keep an eye on: your sharpness. I'll be honest here, caveman DNA took over, and all that was going through my mind was me see monster, me hit monster with stick. I know, this is not an excuse, but a reality. I was surprised of how fast this weapon ate through sharpness, and therefore I forgot to keep an eye on it. I don't suck, this weapon sucks. After an excruciating long time, I managed to defeat Gore. Honestly, this was one of the most painful hunts I ever had in this game, and it almost made me not even want to keep playing with this weapon. But quitting is what I did back 13 years ago, where I gave up instantly after one single hunt. It's been 13 years since that day, and I was no longer that guy who just gave up, who quit at the first instance of hardship. So I gave up on using elemental damage and went straight to using status build-up. Stop looking at me like that, I'm only human. In all fairness, as soon as I made the switch, I started to have fun. I started to drop monsters left and right. The reason? This weapon can attack very fast, so build-up inflictions on a monster is very easy, allowing you to create opportunities to do more damage. And as I was reaching the 10th hunt mark, I made a switch to raw damage. And by raw damage, I mean blast status or team weapon with a high critical damage build. I mean, just look at this beautiful green back scratcher. Surely, no one will get annoyed by always looking at this masterpiece. Surely. Blasting your load of monsters is something I'm very acquainted with. Wait, that sounded weird. Unloading your load all over. No, that sounded even worse. Who wrote this script? Anyway, Blast is such an awesome status because it's just a bonus. and combined with a high damage build, it just destroys everything in its path. By now, you must be asking yourself, Woolian, why are you not using the best combos that these weapons provide? To you, I say, shut up, peasant. You really think I am alpha male, hairy chest, silverback, the most requested, the most acclaimed, the one sculpted by the Greek gods will lower himself to nothing other than pressing the same button over and over again? The disrespect to suggest something so outrageous, something so... It turns out this weapon has many awesome combos, and as I show them on screen, I would like to talk to you about the sponsor of this video, me of course. So if far you are enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe and like, and if you want, comment how awesome I am. Most of the combos are cool and all, but in all reality, the best one is the double triangle input followed by the double circle input, creating this infinite loop of hits with almost no delay. This combo is also used by speedrunners, so you know it's meta. But by far the best attack is the one I like to call the slip and slide. My major dislike for this weapon was that you have to be so close to a monster's asshole in order to be able to do damage because of the lack of range. This attack nullifies this completely, because it allows you to close the gap while also attacking, enhancing the monster asshole smelling experience from poor quality to mass ultra 4K full senses experience. I love this game. As the 20 monster mark was upon me, a new feeling started creeping up on me. Something I never felt before. I was bored. Was it because of the mundane task of using the same combos over and over? No, that can't be. I use the same combos over and over with the gunlance, and it doesn't bore me. Perhaps was the exhausting realization that I was only 20% done with the challenge. Regardless of what it was, something had to change. So I went multiplayer, baby! Listen, I know so far I had mostly only bad things to say about this weapon, but this is where I had a change of heart. Have you ever done mushrooms? Let me finish. I assure you I am not a drug dealer. That was a long time ago. The reason I asked this question is because there is a build so overpowered and fun that could only be described as awesome. I just couldn't pass it up. I had to try it. Introducing the Mushroom-mancing build. Mushroom-mancer is a skill that allows you to consume all kinds of shrooms that have various effects, including buffs. My favorite is the Mandragora shroom, because it has the effect as a max potion and you can carry 10 of them with you. That is overpowered. But wait, there is more. What if you combine this with wide range? Yes, you heard me right, kids. I can buff, heal myself and my teammates by consuming shrooms. Don't do drugs. I was having so much fun with this build that I just couldn't put it down. In most multiplayer games I have played, I always would go for a support role. I find helping others rise above and being that person that they can rely on to achieve a higher ground so satisfying. Therefore, this build combined with paralysis felt incredible to me. Most of my fond memories of this franchise actually come from supporting new hunters, watching them grow and become awesome like me. It's something I value a lot. Perhaps the real monsters are the friends we made along the way. Don't worry, I cringed to that line too. But there's a darker side to this. The thing about supporting others, about raising them to a higher status, being the pillar of their growth, is that sometimes you're not a pillar to them. You're nothing but a stepping stone, a small, insignificant tool that when they deem that you are no longer of use, they will discard you and burn you in the stakes. And from the ashes, A new monster is born. A new filthy, rage-filled entity whose only goal is to slaughter every living thing in the ecosystem so you can wear the skin of the fallen. That's right. This is the birth of the legendary hunter. The fashion hunter, because we all know there is no other reason to hunt anything if you're not looking fabulous while doing so. An ice behemoth that can shoot ice beams? More like my new dripped. Am I right? Oh look, a tentacle mummified squid. My new hat. The possibilities are endless when it comes to swag. Hunting with others is fun, but hunting with others while showing your swag is even better. But Julian, isn't this a video of the sword and shield, not a fashion? Calm down, my little bunny boo, because it all ties together. The sword and shield is such a versatile weapon, and that is shown to perfection with how amazing some of these weapons designs are. There is no possible way to not fashion hunt. So when I look back at this gameplay, I can only contort my body from inside out at the presence of such disgusting, horrible combination of fashion for this build. The fuck is this? The fuck are those? The fuck are those colors? Did you have fun with the last two colors of a Crayola box? Considering it was a mushroom build, I probably was high. It all makes sense now. It's the mushroom's fault, not mine. As I reach the halfway mark, 50 hunts under my belt, I was very confident in this weapon. You see, there are very special interactions with this weapon, mainly with the one mechanic of this game. This weapon can actually open wounds faster than normal. All you have to do is wait for a scar to pop up in a monster. You will see them as a white lash, and use your special focus attack on it. It will open the wound earlier than normal. This by far makes the sword and shield the best weapon to open wounds. Also, because of its moveset allows you to fly up in the air, making it a great weapon to mount monsters. So far, my take on this weapon is that it's a great support weapon. But I'm not satisfied with this. I need to push this weapon to its limits. I tested the damage, the support, but what about the defense? I present to you the wall. I've said this weapon's chill. It's absolute trash. I'd call it useless. I even have resorted to evading instead of blocking. But I was. No. This weapon was wrong. Turns out, if you time it properly, this shield becomes the most powerful defensive option you have. And with skills, you can block almost every single attack, all the while buffing yourself with a skill called Offensive Guard. Insanity, I say. That's not including the fact that this weapon can KO a monster with shield bashing, and is more viable in this game. I couldn't believe my eyes. The useless decorative piece of metal attached to your hand turns out to be so good. Being flabbergasted was an understatement. Perhaps it was time I acknowledged that this weapon was actually strong. I was surprised by what the developers did with this weapon. While the old mechanics are still there, and you still have to get close to the monster's asshole, the new tools allows you to utilize the best of it in almost all hunts. My problem with previous Monster Hunter games is that all the hunts felt like you couldn't bring your favorite weapons. Either because they lacked the range to reach the monster, or they were too slow to react to Speedy Gonzales monsters, like Rajan or Kirin. But in Wilds, it feels like you can take any weapon to any monster and actually do something. I just hope that this continues as the game develops. As I was closing to the end of this journey, ever so close to that 99 hunting mark, I can actually say without a doubt that this weapon brought a sense of nostalgia. You know, when you have played hundreds of hours of a game, You eventually become good, and most hunts feel like a breeze, and no longer you feel challenged by anything, but learning something new. It brought me back to those days where I was a little noob. It gave me an opportunity to grow past my limits, and it made me excited to play other games. By the end of the 99 hunt, I felt accomplished. I knew it was the end of the road. The last hunt was around the corner, and I wanted something special to test my mettle against a tempered archville while solo. This was the fight that symbolized the end of a journey and the start of something so much more than myself. This fight is the starting point of my YouTube channel. I got my drip ready with courage and determination for victory, for glory, for history. And I got absolutely decimated by this monster. Look, maybe it was the map or the area I was fighting it was small. Maybe I didn't learn a single thing on these 100 hunts. Or maybe it's the fact that this damn cat refused to heal me like usual. It couldn't be my fault, right? It's not like I haven't previously fought it either. I had many encounters with it while multiplayer. What was so different this time? It had to be this damn cat. Regardless of any excuse I could come up with, the fact that I was getting destroyed remained, making me wonder, was this the end? Was all those hunts for nothing? Was this the wall the weapon couldn't overcome? A solo hunt of temper Arthur. Looking back, this journey started with insanely difficulty. From the first hunt being Gore Magala to the incredible beast that is multiplayer. Time and time again. Every time when I think I'm good, something makes me realize that I'm not actually that good. And it humbles me back to my place. That's when it hit me. I've hunted this monster before, but not solo. Without my fellow hunters taking the aggro of attacks, I was nothing. And a feeling came back. A feeling I haven't had in years. A feeling that came to me the first time I used this weapon in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. This weapon sucks, F tier. Throw it in the trash. End of the video. Just kidding. As I was laying there frustrated, I realized I'm no longer that hunter. A hunter that gives up when everything is stacked against them. I have 99 hunts under my belt with sword and shield. And I will be damned if this archville is not the 100th. I will do everything that was necessary to ensure the world know that I can be a master of this weapon. No one will get in my way, even if I have to beat the impossible. I will. So I killed it. Anticlimactic, yes, but honestly, after so many flashing moments with this weapon, from mounting to one destroying to stunning the monster with previously mentioned cotton ball, I don't think the 100th hunt could have ended in any other way. Psych, you think I will be satisfied with this and forget the humiliation? Make this the 101 hunts video because I'm about to go deeper than a cave diver in a mountain called the Devil's Butthole. Yes, the sweet nectar of victory. With this, my mission was complete. And honestly, I was surprised yet again by this weapon. I cast it aside and never laid hands on it because of how it made me feel back then. But 13 years later, I can honestly say that while the feeling's still there, I actually gave it a chance. And with that chance, I was proven wrong. Yes, I was wrong. I often believe that I'm good at a game because of how many hours I spent on it. But time and experiences can only make you grow if you allow them to. If you do the same thing all the time and never branch out to something new, you will never grow past the wall. And this weapon taught me that, even if it took that long to admit it. This weapon deserves the spot as one of the best weapons. For that, I place it in the B tier. It takes skills to use and is fun in multiplayer, but you actually have to invest time on it for it to be fun. I don't really know what to tell you regarding the hatred I had for it, but after this many hunts, I see it in a new light. Perhaps it was the chains of the past that were holding me back from giving myself the opportunity to experience something new, something I came to enjoy. Or perhaps the chains of the past were not holding me back. Perhaps I was the one holding on to them, and all I had to do was to let go.